here with a little Monte Monday action. Welcome back, everybody. I think we left off in the last video with finishing priming up that trunk lid. It was actually a while ago. We had a couple videos saved up to get us through a couple of weeks. We've had a busy couple of weeks around here. It's actually Friday, so this video will just be out in a couple of days. Normally when I do Monte Mondays, I do the work on Monday, the video is released the following Monday or the following Monday after that. But I've gotten behind on making the Monte videos. We've just, like I said, we've been super busy. We had some family stuff, had some homestead stuff to deal with, and I've been working on the Jeep behind me too. So I think today's gonna be a short video, but we're gonna go outside to the shed, and somewhere in that vast, glorious space out there is Monte Carlo parts. So we're gonna try and dig out the bumpers. I think they're up in the attic, and then may or may not get the core support out. I don't know if we're gonna, maybe we'll bring the core support in here and take a look at it and then put it back out there. For right now, I don't know, we'll see. Bumpers and core support is what I'm interested in. I'm also looking for, this might be a little more difficult to find out there. I do have everything bagged and tagged, and they're in a box somewhere, and there's multiple boxes of Monte Carlo parts out there, but I need to find the hardware to mount the trunk lid back on the car. So we're gonna look for that. So yeah, let's get to it. We still have some daylight left out there. Hopefully that'll help. I don't have electrical ran out in the shed yet, so there is no lights out there. I have a little battery operated flashlight, but yard duty. Sorry, I squirreled there, but haven't really been much out here since winter. I don't see the bumpers out here. I got the core support that's right there. So, like I said, there's the core support. This guy's pretty rough. Like I said, we definitely got some sandblasting to do. But I will drag him out real quick, and then we'll continue to look for the bumpers. I thought the bumpers were in the attic, but I don't see them. I see a couple Volkswagen bumpers. I see my Blazer bumper. I wonder if they're in the truck outside. They might be in the truck. Let's go see. storage unit. Yep, they're in here. I see them. I see them. So this is mostly random stuff out here. A lot of Monte Carlo stuff and then some random stuff. Let me kind of regroup. I wasn't expecting that stuff to be buried in there. Spider hanging from my hat. So, what I'm thinking. Tomorrow, we're going to be running out of daylight here shortly. But I think today, right now, it's only like 45 degrees out, and we only got like an hour left of light. So thinking tomorrow might be a better day to empty out the back of that truck. It's supposed to be like 55 out tomorrow, and we'll have more light. So we got the core support dug out. Like I was saying before, like, you know, it's pretty gnarly. You know, I was hoping to just sandblast what needed to be sandblasted, and then, you know, the rest we would just scuff up. You know, to be honest with you, you know, it looks like there's more to be sandblasted than there is to be scuffed. So, you know, it would be nice. I would take this out to the driveway right now and we would pressure wash it and get it all cleaned up. But my pressure washer is down at the moment. Maybe we'll take a look at that real quick. I went to use it a couple of weeks ago and it was just spraying everywhere out of the handle. So I think something froze and broke over the winter. It's the second handle I've had to replace on this for the same reason. So, but yeah, unfortunately, I think that thing needs to be, you know, it looks like the majority of it needs to be sandblasted, which is really not what I wanted to do. You know, we could, not that I like doing this, but we could get it all pressure washed up, get it sanded and scuffed up, and POR 15 it, but it's not, I'm not really a fan of doing that, unless it's like a frame or something. Alright, so with this, remember if I pulled the last one apart or not, but we're going to attempt to pull this apart and see what we see. Seems to me like an O-ring. O-ring is not in place, or it broke. Like I said, we put this away last year, and I try and make sure that, like, you know, I shut off the water and I squeeze the trigger while it's still plugged in and blow all the water out of the system before I put it away. I don't remember if I did that or not. But it was fine when we put it away, and I just tried to use it, I don't know, probably a month ago, and it was just spraying water everywhere. I don't see anything broken. Oi. Well, I didn't mean to do that. And a spring fell out. I don't know where the heck that spring went. So I don't see anything wrong. I don't see anything cracked. What did I do with it? I don't know. I mean, I didn't do nothing to it, so. Guess we can take it out, go hook it up to a hose and find out. That was a fail. Well, I kind of knew it was a fail. It was like that prior. Alright, well, this whole adventure is kind of not working out. We did get the core support dug out, but I can't pressure wash it. Like, it won't even build up pressure because of it leaking like that. You know, we need it. That thing needs a good pressure washing. Now that is a Harbor Freight pressure washer, and that handle that's on there is an Amazon handle. I'm just gonna order that same handle again. I want to say it was only like $15 or $20, something like that. I don't remember what these pressure washers cost. I want to say back when I got this, you know, I don't know, 6, 7 years ago. I got it at one of their like sidewalk sales. So their sidewalk sale, it was like, you know, I don't know, 50% off, and then I had a coupon for like another 20% off. I got the whole pressure washer for like $30 or $40, something like that. And I've had to replace the handle on it once before. That was a couple years ago. And it, like I said, it was doing that same thing before. So, excuse me, guys. My zipper is open. So we'll just have to order another handle. You know, I don't see anything that's wrong with it. I think what I need to do is, I think come winter time, like I think this thing needs to get stored inside, because like I said, last year it was fine when I put it away for the winter. I know it's the same thing that happened to me a couple years ago. You know, it worked fine when we put it away for the winter, and then come springtime, you know, I had this issue. So, you know, maybe it's something also as well, like maybe I should start disconnecting the hose from the handle. You know, maybe those O-rings that are in there. Maybe tomorrow, you know what, while I'm out at, you know, Saturdays we normally do our running around our grocery shopping and errands and all that stuff. So maybe tomorrow I'll stop at Ace up the street and see if I can get some new O-rings, and we'll try and replace those O-rings and see if that fixes it. You know, if I can spend a couple bucks on some O-rings. Maybe they have a you know, one of those utility, or you know, one of those boxes that has multiple different sizes of a universal kit. Maybe we can pick up one of those, and you know, maybe, because I don't see anything wrong with it. I didn't see any cracks or anything like that. Only thing I could think of that's wrong with it is that those O-rings went bad. They're not sealing anymore. So I guess we'll try that. But regardless, I think we're just gonna have to pick up tomorrow. You know, we were just out there. The sun's going down, so tomorrow we'll empty some of the stuff out of the back of that truck and get those bumpers out of there. And we'll see if we can find those trunk bolts. I totally forgot to do that. I was more focused on the bumpers and then sidetracked onto this, and today's just a sidetrack day. So anyways, we'll see you guys in the morning, and hopefully tomorrow's a better day for a Monte Monday video. Alright, it's only been a few minutes. I just kind of sat here and stared at this thing, and let's start taking some of it apart and blow it out, since we weren't able to pressure wash it. Blow it out, maybe start running around it with the wire wheel, start getting rid of all the flaky paint. Let's just see what we can make of this thing. Okay. Bagged that up. Okay. So it's looking like somewhat of a core support again. We're going to throw the wire wheel on the drill and get into some of these tighter areas. So what a mess. So I don't know. I think I'm gonna put the wire wheel on the drill. We're gonna go in. We're gonna hit all the nooks and crannies that we couldn't get to with the big one. And then I don't know. As of right now, I'm kind of thinking. Run over it with the DA real quick, scuff pad, and PR 15 it. I'm just kind of, I'm looking at everything that's going on here, and right now it looks somewhat solid, but looking at a lot of what we have going on here, if I sandblast this, we're gonna have holes everywhere. So I'm thinking, I'm thinking just PR 15 it, and then what we'll do after we PR 15 it is, I think I'll just use my 2-in-1, my Rust-Oleum primer paint and 1 rattle can, and we'll rattle can it all out, and then I'll hit it with, I have a flat matte clear that I use. It's an automotive in a can flat matte clear that goes over. It's also by Rust-Oleum, but it's actually an automotive. It says automotive on it, and we'll go over it with that, and it gives it a really nice, like, semi-gloss look. And I think that's it. I think we'll call it done after that. So, like I said, I think I'm gonna shut you guys off for a minute. I'm gonna throw your battery in the charger and let you guys charge up. And I'm gonna run around everything with the drill real quick, and then we'll be back to run over it with the DA and the scuff pad, and then I'll take out my PR 15. I have 2 little pint cans of PR 15 left. One's gloss, one's flat. And I'm gonna have to check them and see if they're any good anymore. I haven't touched the PR 15 in six months at least, if not longer. So for all I know, it could be all hardened up in the can, because they have been opened. So but yeah, we'll see. I think it'll look really good when it's done. It's just, you know, how long will it last? You know, I think we'll definitely prolong it by doing what we're gonna do. But I don't know. I was talking about kind of, you know, going the PR 15 route instead of the sandblast route. You know, I think it'll prolong it, PR 15 in it. Is it the right way? No, you know, it probably should be blasted, but you know, I see a lot of areas that are pretty rough, and like I said, if we sandblast them, I don't think it'll survive. And you know, there's no way to get in between everything, so even sandblasting it and painting it and all that stuff, you know, you're never going to get it all, and it's going to come back anyways. So you know, not that I'm trying to be lazy, I don't see it being worth it to sandblast it all and whatnot. I think regardless of what we do, it's going to look good once it's done. So it's just how long will it last is the thing. And who knows? Could last longer being POR 15, because I'll be able to get the POR 15 in all the cricks and cracks and crevices that the sandblaster wouldn't be able to get into. But anyway, so like I said, we'll be back to sand and scuff and check out our POR 15 situation. So I got in the nooks and crannies as best as I could with the wire wheel on the drill. Whatever's left is what's left. It's not much, but let's run over it with the DA. I don't know if you guys are still on. Hopefully you guys are on. So I just jumped to that. There was a couple spots on here. It's like when they painted the car used to be blue. When they painted the car black, this was originally black from the factory, but it looks like they painted across the top of this, and the paint was gummy. Like it didn't want to come off with the wire wheel. It didn't want to come off with the DA. You can see it just kind of like gummed up my DA. It didn't even want to come off with that, but we got it. So I'm not super worried about how this is going to come out. You know, my main concern was all the rust that was on it. But I don't think we're going to be able to do much about it. But as far as, you know, how it looks once it's painted, once this thing's in the car, and it's a front bumper on it, and it has the headlights and the header panel and the grille. So I was saying, you know, once the whole front end's all put together, like, you won't see this. You might see it from the inside when the hood is open, but you got the radiator that goes in there. There's a fan shroud that goes in there. You know, you got the back of the headlights that kind of protrude out the back that, you know, all the wiring runs through and everything. But on the inside, my plans are that we're going to build something that goes across the top of this core support that has, it's all bead rolled out real nice. And then we're going to have some pieces that come off of that, like over the front wheels back to the firewall. That have real nice bead rolls in and kind of tuck down to the motor. So when you open the hood, like, you see all these nice bead rolled panels that are covering up, you know, the inside of the core support, the radiator, all the front suspension stuff. You know, we kind of, I don't know if it's going to get wheel wells put in there. If it does, they're going to be metal. We're not putting the old plastic ones in. One of them's all busted up, and I don't think you can get them. So But you know, if it gets metal wheel wells in there, we'll probably run those through the bead roller and make those match the metal panels that are coming in. The metal panels will go up to those that, you know, roll back to the firewall. And you know, so my plans when this is all done is you will never see this. So that's why I'm saying, like, I'm not super worried about it. We're just trying to clean it up and make it look nice. So, peace of mind. Let's see what we got for some PR15. I'm gonna blow this off real quick. All right. I don't even know if I have a brush. Okay, there's liquid sloshing around in there, so. Alright, since I'm planning on doing this core support like a flat or a semi-gloss, I'm gonna use the flat stuff. Okay. Yeah, we got her all. We got her all PR15'd up. You know, not exactly my original plan, but I think we did a good job cleaning it up, and you know, we'll let this cure up. So I think this is going to be the end of the video. Maybe I'll spend a little bit of time on it tomorrow if it's cured up enough. You know, we still got cool nights, so. But if it's cured up enough tomorrow, we'll run over everything with the scuff pad. I gotta check my paint situation as far as that goes too. We may have to go run up to Ace and grab a can or something. But you know, maybe we'll get this guy painted. I don't know. We'll see. tomorrow's another day. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. You know, in the beginning it was kind of all over the place. I really wasn't sure which route we were gonna go, and I think it worked itself out. I sat here for a minute, I did the guy stare, I figured out what I wanted to do, and I went for it. So I'm happy. I'll see you guys in the next one. So remember to like, subscribe, share, leave a comment. And since this is actually being done on Friday, I'll say have a good weekend. You guys will see this on Monday. I hope you guys had a good weekend. So I'm out.